All right, here's my confessional for round 3. There's kind of a lot to actually go over because a lot has happened since my last confessional. So you saw in round 2 that I was given the devil card from the fortune teller, which requires me to complete 3 tasks prior to being able to get my vote. One of those tasks is to get a vote, which, you know, kind of puts me at a disadvantage because it's basically contingent on my tribe going to tribal, which I don't really have control over. And so if my tribe wins out for whatever reason, I might not have a vote for a number of rounds until a swap or a loss of an immunity, or even merge if I don't lose until merge. And even then, somebody still needs to vote for me and for me to get my vote back. So who knows how many rounds I will not have a vote in this game. I have completed the first 2 tasks, which were a puzzle and an endurance comp. And so now, after this round, I'll basically be able to get my vote back if I get somebody to vote for me at a tribal council. Anyway, so that's the devil curse. Last round, we were supposed to go to tribal, and we were in this interesting arena because a 4-person alliance of me, Sean, Shemayim, and Mona Lisa was created, and essentially the 3 out of the 4 of us targeted Julia. Well, we all know that Julia had a fortune teller card that allowed her to leave our tribe and join another tribe at any point in the game. So that could have been a tribe that was going to tribal. It could have been when our tribe was going to tribal. And essentially, when she leaves, she has safety and either avoids a vote or joins a vote and gets to vote somebody out of the game at a different tribe if they go to tribal. So the 4 of us, which was called Misty, kind of agreed that we were going to target Julia. Me and Mona Lisa also have an alliance with Marcelo called La Melantres, which is the Milan 3, essentially in Italian. And that's like the real alliance that Mona Lisa is in. And Sean was targeting Marcelo hard, like full on. That's who he wanted to go. And we totally knew that those were his vibes. Like, we knew that's who he wanted to get out. He was not really on board to get out Julia. And so when the 4 of us basically agreed Julia, we got off call because it was like right before we found out results. And Julia, after we lose, decides to play her power. You know, I got sketched out by this. Like, I basically figured that Sean had something to do with Julia playing the power, and Marcelo, myself, and Mona Lisa had a plan going into the vote that, like, if for whatever reason Julia played the power, we needed to vote Sean out, and we needed to get Shemayim in a position to basically flip on Sean and vote him out if need be. So Mona Lisa and I worked on Shemayim a lot to get her to kind of question Sean's loyalty to the 4. And when Julia played her card, I got on call with Shemayim and I was like, look, like, I'm pretty sure Sean was the one who told Julia. Shemayim said that Mona Lisa had something similar about how she felt like Sean was going to be doing that. And then Shemayim reveals that Sean literally told Shemayim that, like, they should get Julia to play the card, go to Perla, make friends with Brandon, come back, vote out Marcelo, then the 4 strong, Julia's there to benefit Shemayim and Sean, and the power's out of the game, right? Like, that was the plan. And when Shemayim said that, I was like, Shemayim, literally, Julia went to Perla. So, like, that's basically half the plan already. So Sean probably told her, and she was like, yeah, like, I'm really sketched out. I don't know if I could trust him. And then I finally just disclosed like, look, Mona Lisa's voting for Sean, so, like, you should just do it too. And she said, yeah, I'm down to do it. And Mona Lisa and I literally executed a blindside on Sean. And Sean went home 3-1 because I don't have a vote, unfortunately. We wouldn't have had to do that play on Shemayim if I had my vote, because it would have just been 3-2. But it's good that we got Shemayam on board and feels comfortable, because now she really trusts Mona Lisa and I. So that brings us into this round. We find out that we have to do an all-nighter challenge. And I, competed in a majority of it. I think I slept for like 3 hours. Marcelo only slept for 4 hours, but Marcelo and I definitely carried that challenge on our back. Like, we were the top scorers for our team. We were blocking people left and right, and we're figuring that we're going to get second tonight. Julia went back to the fortune teller at the start of the round. She says she doesn't have anything. I kind of believe that she doesn't have anything, but everybody else thinks that, like, the way she's presented the evidence is a little bit sketchy and that she might have something. So we're kind of, wondering that. Julia is the target for everybody on the tribe. So if we end up going to tribal, she's definitely the one to vote. We're feeling like we got second in the challenge just based on, keeping track of the points and the blocking and the diamond finding and all that during the challenge. And then there's like one important part that I can't believe I forgot, but I have the Rubino idol. Mona Lisa, myself, and Marcelo were on call before the Sean vote, like a day before, trying to find the idol. I ended up finding all 4 cards and doing the puzzle. When Julia was on Perla, Juan had told her about the idol, and so if Marcelo or Mona Lisa end up finding the 4 cards and doing the puzzle, and they find out that the idol is gone, I'm kind of hoping that the blame gets shifted onto Julia, and they think she has the idol, so that I'm kind of like protected about me not disclosing, because I'm not telling anybody. I'm not telling anybody in this game that I have the idol. Nope. I'm just gonna play it when I feel like it's appropriate to help me, maybe an alliance. But I'm not too really worried about it right now, because my main goal is to get my vote. I feel like I'm in a comfortable position on Rubino. Shemayam really likes me and trusts me. Mona Lisa really trusts me. Marcelo trusts me. But I think that Mona Lisa is probably my biggest threat in this competition. And I'm trying to figure out, like, who I want to be my number 1. I don't know why Marcelo is just not there as my number 1. Like, he's just not. Mona Lisa, because she's my biggest competition and threat, I'm like keeping her at an arm's length almost. And I genuinely think that I could have Shemayam be loyal to me for a majority of this game. And so, like, a part of me feels like I want her to be my number 1, which means that if Julia gets voted out and we're a 4-person tribe and we lose again, I have to make a decision on what I want to do and who I want to go home. I don't really have the power to vote, but I do have an idol, and I could play an idol on someone if I can't convince, one of the 3 of them to turn on one another. I just have to make sure that I'm not the vote. But I feel like, just based on my relationships with everybody on the tribe, I don't think I would be. So, we'll see. But, yeah, that's basically the quick rundown. Sad that Shauna had to go, but I definitely think that was the right decision. I definitely think he had something to do with Julia playing the card, and I think that he was in a good position. He should have just, not have sent Julia away. But also, he got voted out, so maybe having Julia there for him was a good thing. But yeah, so, little flash down. But yeah, that's my confessional, and I will try to upload it, and hopefully you get it before the round ends.